Thanks for coming back to the Bigfoot Society podcast. We have the privilege of Nash Hoover with us today. Good to see you again. I met Nash at the Van Meter Visitor Festival in Van Meter, Iowa, which is a great cryptid. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to look it up. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to gallery view. There we go. That's much better. But yeah, Nash has a very cool story. He does a lot of cool stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and have you introduce yourself, Nash, if you don't mind.
Sure. My name is Nash Hoover. I am the host, executive producer, co-creator of the Chasing Legends web series. The series follows myself and my team as we travel the globe and research, investigate different cryptid legends. And we've been doing that for almost 7 years now.
Oh, wow.
Finally kind of starting to work on our proper first season and kind of going to be filming that over this year with the goal of releasing it early next year.
Okay.
So yeah, that's cool. Kind of me and what's going on in a nutshell.
So it's I would assume it's definitely you. And who else is involved with the Chasing Legends crew? Who is your crew that usually would meet in the episodes?
So the crew consists of my cousin Michaela, who has been with it since the beginning.
Okay.
My director of photography, Sammy Vernay. We have a new camera operator, Brian Burninghouse. We have Jack Kozitsa, who is our audio person. And then we recently teamed up with Alexander Pedikov, who will be joining the show full time with us. So we're really excited to have him on board. He's a really great guy. Worked with us on our Pukwudgie episode in Massachusetts we filmed last month, beginning of March.
Okay.
And yeah, we just all really connected well with him, and he wanted to keep doing it with us. And
that's awesome. Yeah. He's a gentleman from New Hampshire area. Is that correct? Or
yes,
New England?
He's from New Hampshire.
Okay, very cool. That's awesome. So he'll be actually, because you're located in the Midwest, right? North of Iowa.
South Central Minnesota.
Okay, very cool. So that means he'll be hanging out in the Midwest for a bit, I would imagine. Or
we have plans to bring him out here eventually.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, that's kind of skipping ahead. So I was looking at your Instagram the other day, and you had mentioned that you had just been out in Massachusetts. I'm actually originally from Western Mass myself, and there's some weird stuff out there. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
So I am a little curious to hear more about so what part of Mass were you in out there, and stuff like that?
Specifically Eastern.
Okay.
We were doing an episode on Pukwudgies, like I said. So we were in Freetown, Fall River State Forest. So that area, obviously Boston. So pretty much just in that area specifically is where we were. Hockomock Swamp and all of that.
Okay. Very cool. And for the listeners at home that might not be familiar with it, can you kind of give a synopsis of what that cryptid is all about?
Sure. So the Pukwudgie is a Wampanoag legend in their folklore. It's kind of connects it kind of bridges the gap between both like ghost and physical cryptid.
Oh wow.
Pukwudgie pretty much means like a small person that vanishes, essentially.
Okay.
So it's kind of a trickster in the Wampanoag folklore. It's been seen as being both good and evil, more on like the bad side.
Okay.
More in like the modern day reports in the Fall River Freetown State Forest, there is a lot of kind of strange deaths and suicides that they kind of
Mm,
associate
really?
with the Pukwudgie. The Pukwudgie, pretty much kind of lures people to their deaths and into the forest where they,
Oh my goodness.
meet their
Wow.
demise. There's an abandoned quarry and cliff face. It's called the Assonet Ledge in the middle of this forest, and that specifically has a lot of kind of strange suicides and deaths associated with it, and just all around strange things. It's just that whole area is just very, very, very strange and eerie.
Okay. Um, man, not to dwell. Well, it's in your episode, right? So let's go ahead. It reminds me of that Destination Truth. What that was Destination Truth when they went to the forest in Japan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Okuagara, yeah.
probably not to that extent, I'm guessing, but
No, because there was like one story that we came across where like because there's on the bottom of this cliff there's like a pool of water, and it's deep enough where you
okay,
could swim in it, and I guess
sure.
people like jump off of it and into the water to swim.
Mm-hmm.
um and I guess there was a story of a guy that was up there with the group of his friends, and I guess the guy showed no prior signs of being suicidal. I guess was an all-around happy guy, and they were up there, and he just jumped off, and
Wow.
jumped off in a way where he hit the rocks instead of the water. And so yeah,
Man.
there's a lot of stuff like that where it's not necessarily, it's just almost for no reason. It's
Yeah. No, that's crazy. That's not to, that's that's something else. Um, so you mentioned that so this cryptid is almost half physical, half spiritual. How do you prepare? What's in the Nash Hoover chasing legends bag when you go after something like this? I wouldn't know if I'm gonna go Ghost Adventures or I'm gonna go Indiana Jones on this, or I'm gonna do a little both. Like what are your thoughts?
you kind of have to go both.
Yep.
I mean, we obviously don't do the typical, we didn't take it from like a typical ghost hunting standpoint. We didn't take it from a typical ghost or a cryptid hunting standpoint. You kind of have to, it's kind of one of those things where you kind of have to make it up as you go.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of take the information that you're given, and then you just kind of use your senses. And, uh, like what we do is we kind of look for like alternate explanations for things. So, we're out there looking
Okay.
for known animals that meet the descriptions that people are giving, or
Sure.
other instances, uh other things going on in the area that could be just attributed
Mm-hmm.
as a Pukwudgie sighting.
Yep.
So that's kind of what we go at these things with. But yeah, with the case of the Pukwudgie, it was really difficult for us to kind of, we did our best. We didn't find anything, but we yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of just have to take it as take it as you get it, pretty much, and go with it. And
If anything, you got to see a beautiful part of the U.S. I don't know if you've ever been out there before, but man, like New England is beautiful. Like
yeah, it was nice, and it
it's
was
good
like
stuff.
the weather the first day we were out there was great,
Yep.
and then that night there was like a crazy snowstorm.
Oh wow. Okay, so you
So
got one of
like
those, yeah.
the second day we pretty much we had snow to deal with, but then by that afternoon, like 6-7 hours later, the snow was gone.
Yeah, yeah, that's
So like
crazy.
we did 2 interviews. We did one right away in the morning, and then one later on in the afternoon, and they almost looked like they were filmed like days apart from each other.
That's awesome. So you're actually interviewing people out there maybe that have seen it or had um able to get some interviews, it sounds like. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, we interviewed two guys, John Horgan and Paul Eno,
Okay.
from out there, both folklore and historians from that
Oh, nice.
area. So both of them are very, very knowledgeable in pretty much everything that's going on out there. Both Pukwudgie and just other things, from the Bridgewater Triangle to
Oh yeah, sure.
all the cult and mob stuff, that goes on out there. These guys knew it all. And
Yeah, I bet.
yeah, there's
There's some
so much.
stuff. Yeah, there's some stuff out there. Yep. I've looked into watched your stuff in the past. It's on YouTube.
Yep.
But you mentioned there's kind of a new format you're going into for releasing it, or are you still sticking with YouTube, or what's your plans for releasing this new adventure that you have?
We have kicked around Amazon Prime for a long time.
Okay.
But as of right now, we are going to be primarily YouTube. Just because we love the platform.
Mm-hmm.
The community is always great. You always get really good positive feedback and honest feedback, and we just want to make it as available as we possibly can for everybody, and that everyone has access to YouTube and it's free. So we're just going to keep
Cool.
doing it that way.
Very cool. Very cool. Can you give us actually, before I want, can you explain the picture with you and Josh Gates? I saw it floating around somewhere. What's the story
Yeah.
behind it? There's got to be a story behind that, right?
So, he occasionally does like speaking events.
Exactly. Yep.
Just kind of he
Mm-hmm.
just does them, and he was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin,
Okay.
5 hours from me, and I was like, screw it. I
Mm-hmm.
says I've gotta, I says even if I can't get on the VIP to meet him, I still want to go and at least
Right.
hear him speak, because he's I've been a huge fan of Gates for a long time. He's a huge inspiration of mine. One of the main inspirations behind Chasing Legends is Destination
Oh yeah,
Truth. And
definitely.
so my girlfriend and I drove out there and went and saw him, and it was great. I recommend anybody that if you're ever given the chance to hear Josh Gates speak, please go, because
I echo that 100%. Yep.
it's amazing, because he doesn't hold back. He tells you,
Nope.
he's such a great storyteller, and he
He is.
allows
Mm-hmm.
the audience to have input and to weigh in on things, and it's amazing. Anyways,
Yep.
so we were walking out and we noticed a line of people kind of off in this weird corner of the event,
Okay.
the event area. So we just kind of walked over there, like didn't know what was going on. Well, all these people were lining up outside of the door that he was supposed to come out of to leave.
Okay.
And so we're like, okay, whatever. Like they're just gonna tell us all to to leave. Like he's just, obviously Gates is a busy guy. He's gonna want to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the security guard came out and said, he will come out and shake your hand and take a picture and talk with each one of you individually, but it has to be quick. He has to get going. So that's what he did. He came out. This was probably a line of at least 20 people. And he came out. He gave everybody probably 2-3 minutes, shook their hand, took a picture, talked with them, and moved on to the next person. He did it. And he didn't rush himself. He didn't,
It's awesome.
he genuinely enjoyed meeting each person individually. So that's how I got to meet him.
That's very
And
cool.
I have always wanted to meet Gates, and I'm glad I did.
Yep.
Hopefully next time I meet him, I can have more of a conversation with him. But
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah, that's the story of how I met the man
Cool.
himself.
Cool to have that behind the scenes about that picture. Yeah, I met him at the Des Moines area community college has a lecture series, and he was there. I think it was
Yeah,
a
I
year or
found
two
out
ago.
about that after the
Yep,
fact. Like I had
that
no
was
idea
really
that
good.
was even.
That was awesome. He he said, everyone that believes in aliens, raise your hand, and the whole few hundred people raised their hand. He's like, now everyone who believes in Bigfoot, raise your hand. And it was literally me and one other person. So kind of singled out there, but he was like, all right, whatever. Can you maybe give us any sneak peeks about like what is what maybe some plans you have in the future? Like you're looks like bringing on a new guy. Do you have any cryptids you want to take down in the future, or maybe keep that a little close to your chest, but
I have. Hold on, I'm gonna get the exact number here.
all right.
1 second. I have a list of 35. It's
Wow.
it's always growing every time I kind of find something that I think is interesting.
Okay, that's
So
cool.
far I've
Yeah.
checked off 1. So I've got 34.
Okay.
I will be checking off 3 more this year. We will be going to Arizona in July. We will go
Okay.
into Vermont in September and Louisiana in October. And then that will
Wow.
wrap our first season. 4 episodes. I know it's not a lot, but it's a good little
No, that's amazing. Like,
taste of
hmm
kind of what we can do and what we want to do and how we want to make the show look overall. And then from there, we will obviously, I've already started kind of mapping out a season 2, but we'll kind of deal with that as it comes. But that will definitely be more than 4.
That's cool. That's cool. I am man, you got me interested definitely with the Vermont thing. I I grew up about 20 minutes away from Vermont. Yeah, there's some weird stuff in Vermont too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like talking to these old timers out there, and they'd be like, "Yeah, there's these things called coy dogs, and they're half coyotes and half dogs, and you shoot them, and then they'll jump like 10 feet, even though you've already shot them." Like this is crazy stuff in the hills of New Hampshire and Massachusetts and Vermont and all that. It's just like so. Whatever you're going after out there, it should be a good time. So
Yeah,
I am
we're
looking
really
forward to
excited
seeing that.
for we're excited for all of them just because we've spent the last 7 or so years, pretty much filming primarily in the Midwest, Minnesota,
Hmm.
Wisconsin,
Yep. Yep.
So we're, I mean, we've gone to Ireland a few years ago and did some stuff, but
Oh, okay. Yeah.
you know,
Nice.
we're happy that, we did the Massachusetts trip. That's one that we've been trying to do for a long time. And then now it's like everything is
Hmm.
really coming together finally for us where we're actually able to start getting out of the Midwest and exploring some of these bigger topics that we've always
Yeah.
wanted to do. So we pretty much as a team have said that we will no longer do episodes that we can drive to.
Yeah, sure, sure. Yep.
So
Yep.
like early days, we pretty much would do anything within like a 6-hour radius that we could drive
Mhm.
to. And now we
Yep.
won't do anything that we can drive to. So we're
Okay.
really, really trying to expand. Obviously our first season will be all domestic within the
Mhm.
US. But then our plans, uh, season 2 and on are going to be primarily international
Wow.
and the occasional US case. But yeah, we definitely are trying to turn this into an international show. And so we can really start exploring some of these better known cases and sometimes not the so known cases
Yep.
around. I know I've got a few on the list that I've kind of reached out to people on, and they're like, I've never heard of that. And I'm like, well, cool.
Wow.
Let's learn about it together then.
Yeah,
Like,
totally. Yep. Yep. Yeah, you could find something in an old newspaper and, you know, no one's heard of it. And yeah, you're the person to bring it back. That's pretty cool. Um just had another question. So and this shut this down if you need to, but are you funding these trips by yourselves? Do you have like maybe a Patreon going on, or how is the yeah, that's kind of an interesting question, right? But
yes, over the last up until now, everything is 100% self-funded
hats
by
off to you.
myself.
Yep.
Uh, the Massachusetts trip and this Arizona trip that we have booked, we've got the whole team kind of chipping in on their end, which has been
Mhm.
great. Um, the whole team really wants to do this and they really want to go to these places. So, they've been more than happy to throw in their portions of the plane tickets and
Sure.
Airbnbs and hotels and stuff.
Yep.
So that's really been great. That's really been helping make this possible. We will be on May 26th. We will be launching a Kickstarter to fund
Wow.
the remaining 2 and to kind of to fund the rest of the Arizona trip. We bought the flights, but there's other stuff that we have to kind of put into it. So yeah, we will be launching a Kickstarter to really make that way we can put a lot more money towards the production value.
Mm-hmm.
We personally are not making any money off of this.
Yep.
We are doing this completely independently for free because we love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we will be launching a Kickstarter to produce the last 2 and the remaining, or the what's left to pay for the Arizona episode.
Okay.
That's renting equipment, all travel expenses, everything, and then and everything that's going to come up on these trips, because we're really trying to go not too big, but big enough where it really is a proper production. We really want to give these stories and these cases due diligence and really tell a great story and have it look good and packaged well. And we, at the end of the day, we're cryptozoologists, we're cryptid researchers, but at the same time we're filmmakers and we want to put out the best thing that we can. So
I think that's super smart and a good idea to allow your community to get involved, to really have some skin in the game. And I think that's going to go great for you. Totally. Maybe, was that breaking news, or is that
we were originally going to do a Kickstarter last month. We were going to launch it on the 31st of March, but then with everything with the COVID-19, we were like, okay, not the right time. Let's push it back. So
totally.
We settled on May 26th, which is also will be our 7th anniversary of the show.
Okay.
So just kind of, it's kind of a 2, you were kind of getting a celebration of that and the launch of the future. And and then everything will be on YouTube for free for everybody. We will have a DVD option that will be
awesome.
Very reasonably priced.
Very good.
So if people that want to watch it, that don't want to watch it on a small screen. I mean, obviously you can get YouTube on your TVs, but some people might like that physical. I'm an old school person myself. I like having the physical. So we definitely have ideas for a nice DVD package that will be, have some extras in it and that you're not going to get online as well. So
very cool. Yeah. I want to be able to put Chasing Legends next to Small Town Monsters on my,
Oh, you'll get one. I'll get you one.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
So May 26th is that. And then, like you said, we've always tried to make, we've always tried to get the community as involved as possible. We want this show to be made for them. We want them to have as much input. If they don't like something, let us know. We want to try to make it tailored to everybody. And, that's kind of one of the reasons why we stepped away from trying to get this show on TV, is because we knew we were going to lose that
community,
that fundamental part that we enjoy so much, which is the community and the I like, that's like one of my favorite things, to go into these places and meeting the people that like your stuff and have the input and want to see it grow and expand. And so that's what's going on with us. And
super cool. Believe it or not, Nash, it is actually, we are close to the end. Would you mind if someone, let's say, has never heard of you before and they are watching this on YouTube or listening to the podcast, let them know what's the best way to follow your adventures, or, in essence, plug your stuff.
So our website is www.chasinglegendscrew.com.
Okay.
That is going to have links to all of our social accounts, Facebook, Instagram, as well as our YouTube. All of our episodes that we currently have out are on our website as well. So that our website is kind of like our one-stop shop for everything.
Perfect.
That's going to have a little bit about the kind of, what started the show. It's got a little bio of me and Caitlin Keeley, who is the co-creator of the show. There's photos. There's a pretty much you can meet the crew, virtually, see who everybody is, what their role is. Have a few behind the scenes photos. I'm working on getting some more up there. We just completely redid the website, so I don't have everything up there that we had on our old site yet, but there are a few behind the scenes photos.
Cool.
Most of them are from our Devil's Punch Bowl episode, and a few are from the Boston trip. So
Okay.
we will be updating
Very
that
cool.
as we kind of shoot more stuff. And
Awesome.
then as
Well,
well, you
Nash,
can
yeah.
find me on Instagram at Nash Hoover, all one word. And then my Instagram has a link to our website as well. But
Fantastic.
everything show wise is our website.
Cool. Well, thank you for taking the time to chat with me tonight. It's been awesome. Remember, May 26th, Kickstarter. You're not going to want to forget about that, guys. That's a really good opportunity to get involved with Chasing Legends. So thank you again. And hopefully I'll maybe see you at the Van Meter Visitor Festival again.
We'll be there.
You got it. All right. Well,
Yeah,
thanks for listening.
Me, man.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the Bigfoot Society podcast, all, and we will see you next week.